Hello, everyone. My name is Jon Breithaupt. I'm the Executive Director of Chippewa Watershed Conservancy. We're a nonprofit land conservancy based out of Mount Pleasant, Michigan, which is in the center of the Lower Peninsula of Michigan. We own 22 nature preserves that are open to the public for a variety of passive recreation, and we also manage 39 conservation easements on private lands, which protect natural resources on them for a variety of different conservation values. I'm in this course to get a better understanding of what goes into being a forest manager from a policy perspective. We're managing primarily forest lands that are privately owned but open to the public. And so there's a variety of different implications that go into that sort of thing. I'm also enrolled in the MNRS program with a concentration in forest sciences through CSU, and so one of the requirements for the course is to take this class as well. I've also taken the other policy course that is centered around NEPA through CSU, which is a graduate course that's really prepared me for a variety of different discussions that are going to take place in this course. I've spent 2 seasons with the U.S. Forest Service, and so I understand what goes into NEPA, the planning and the data collection. I understand some of the different multiple use forest management mandates that the Forest Service has, and then I'm familiar with the Michigan DNR and DEQ, which is the Department of Environmental Quality regulations that dictate the use of forests in the state of Michigan, as well as things like floodplain alteration and the like. Currently working on a project where we're going to be developing some canoe access sites along the Chippewa River, which is a designated trout stream in central Michigan. It's the main river of the region. And we're going to be altering some forests in the floodplain, adding some stairs to a riverbank in the floodplain, adding a deck, a railing, things like that for access. And so understanding some policy implications at the state level are going to be important to me. Again, my experience with federal policy dictating forests is fairly limited to just those 2 seasons with the Forest Service, but I'm also a concerned citizen, and so I'm always interested in learning about what's happening to our nation's public lands. Something interesting, current trend rise that I learned about in the readings was how little our president Donald Trump really understands about the current wildfire situation, particularly happening in the western part of the United States, saying that part of the issue comes from shipping water to the Pacific Ocean. Is a bit absurd to me. And then, the memo from the meeting he had with Secretary Zinke of the DOI, talking about how, salvaging dead and down trees is like the key to preventing wildfires was pretty amazing to me. There's no reference of climate change, reforming NEPA so we can more easily engage in large-scale forest management activities. So it's pretty interesting to see the next few years how our federal forests are going to pan out. I also thought it was interesting to read about how the loss of forests globally has slowed in the recent decades, and how the replanting efforts have been ramped up given an increase in desire for forest products. That's a promising thing to me. It said most of the replanting was happening in temperate forest, which is where I live in a northern temperate forest in Michigan. And the slowest replanting is happening in the tropical area where much of that forest land is being converted into agricultural land for farming purposes. It does give me hope, though. I hope we're getting to that point where we realize all the ecosystem services that forests provide are essential for life. They're not just a nice thing to have to increase quality of life. They're an integral part of our life. Clean air, clean water, spaces for recreation and finding respite, and using wood for a variety of different materials, and using forest products for medicine and spiritual purposes and things of that nature are quintessential to life, in my opinion, and I'm hoping we're headed in the right direction. Thank you.